Alright, welcome to Mr. Nelson's YouTube video. Today in class, what we talked about were check registers, okay? Not a cash register, but a check register. Basically a nice long list of everything that is either being deposited or withdrawn from your checking account. Alright, we're talking about personal financial literacy in class. We talked about what's the better bank, and looking at a chart and comparing banks and finding out what the better bank is for a certain person. Now, we also talked about check registers. Okay, this goes along with all that credit stuff that we've been talking about, all that debit stuff that we've been talking about, all those loans and interest rates and credit reports and stuff like that. Okay, so check registers. Right here is what is called a check register. Basically, it's information that is written down to help you keep track of how much money you have in your account. All right, so on our little check register, we have the check number. We've got the date. We've got the description. And we've got over here deposits and withdrawals or fees. Okay? Remember, deposits are things that we are putting into. Withdrawals are things that we are taking out of. Okay? So we are adding and subtracting. Okay? So basically, we have a beginning balance, and then from there, we either add or subtract to get our new balance. Okay? In this case, I do believe our beginning balance is $325. Sorry, $300.25. Okay? Now, if I was to make a check register for this, which is already made, but it doesn't have the deposit on there, I would take my beginning balance of $300.25 and I would apply each new thing. So in this case, I would start off with my debit card for a meal on 1/4. So we take that $300.25, and since it is a withdrawal, we subtract the $42. Okay. 5, 2, because if we subtract 0 from those, we get the same. Now, if I've got 0 and I'm subtracting 2, I'm going to have to borrow. That makes that a 10, and that makes that a 0. Well, I have to borrow from the 10, so that makes that a 9. That makes that a 10. So now we're at 10 minus 2 is 8. We're going to bring that straight down, that decimal. 9 minus 4 is 5. $258.25. We got through with the debit part. Now we have to do our check that we wrote for close. So on 1/8, we wrote check number 2601 for close for $189. Now I take that new balance of $258.25 and I'm going to withdraw or take $189 out of that. We subtract. 5 minus 0 is 5. 2 minus 0 is 2. 8 minus 9 we can't do. So we're going to borrow from the 2 because we'll run into the same thing when we do the 5. So that's going to be a 1. That 5 becomes 15. But we have to borrow. So that's 14. And now that is 18. 18 minus 9 is 9. I need to make sure that I bring my decimal straight down. 14 minus 8 is 6. 1 minus 1 is 0. So now we're at $69.25. Well, then we've got the next one we go to. We did an ATM withdrawal on 112 of $55. So we take and we subtract, because we withdrew money, $55. 5, 2, 4, 1. Bring the decimal straight down. 1425. You continue this, and now we've got 1425, and we have to deposit. Remember, deposit is to add, so we would have to deposit. In the end, you would fill in your check register, and you would end up, after you do it all, at $114.75 as my ending balance, or what I have at the very end. Okay? So on your homework, you're going to be doing the same thing, but you will have to write the date, the description, the transaction. Remember, transaction amount is the same thing as a withdrawal or a fee. And then you've got your deposit. Deposit is the same thing as adding. And then you've got your balance. Okay? If there is a check number, meaning you write a check, make sure you put your check number on there. Make sure you describe it in the description part. Okay? And then on the back, there are just a few questions over that. What is your account balance on May 30th? Well, you'd have to have all of your information in there. Again, with your beginning balance, your checks that you write, your payments that you make, and that sort of thing. Okay? So make sure that you do that to make up a check registry that looks similar to this. Okay?